Good morning, friends. It's KC Jilly here. I thought I have a minute here at lunchtime out at the Secret Garden, and I thought I'd run you through it real quick and see all the presents they're giving us up there, the grid in the sky. Blocked out the dadgum eclipse. They were running all before it. Anyhow, why? Let's look at some vegetables. What do you say? Or at least where they're gonna be. All right, my little peach tree's filling out just fine. You can see I got a couple of spots here. 1, 2, 3, 4. All of those are going to be okra. I planted them like 3 days ago. Stuck them in there and we'll see what happens. Over here, I have 1, 2 watermelon plants that's gonna come. I don't recall the name of the type of watermelon it is. It's a big watermelon, so when I remember what that is, I'll tell you. But I got 2 of them, and I have filling that sprout anytime. Same with my cantaloupe. Got 2 cantaloupes here. And you can see they got room to spread out a little bit. They're going to head southeast, most likely. That's how they usually do. And I've got the China Jade cucumber. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All along this fence line. It's just going to be covered in it when the stuff comes on through. All these things I just planted just a couple of days ago, so that's why I have these little dark spots. This little hole's gonna be my Mexican squash, and right here's yellow squash, and this is also yellow squash. And these guys are both gonna be zucchini. You can see my little tomatoes are starting to kind of recover and come back, the ones that are gonna make it. I've stolen these spikes, and I'm gonna steal another one because over in my greenhouse, which is what I'm guessing most people would prefer to be looking at right now, they're getting so dang big, they're falling over. So I think, looking at what I've got here right now, I'm gonna take this one. I'm gonna take this spike with me because I'm gonna have to do some tying up. The cabbage is still hanging on. The onion's doing just fine. I've got a couple green beans starting to pop through there. Now this is real shady over here in this section, and so we'll see how things do. They'd probably be better if they're out in the sun. Got a strawberry there. Got some red onions. Got some yellow onions. Perpetual spinach. Some more strawberries. And my peppers got dried out. The wind come through here and blew everything over again. So I have a fig tree there, waiting on a little bit more roots. Alright, those are watermelons. I have 2 more of those watermelons, and that's Egyptian spinach. I just don't know where I want to put it yet. So that's what's coming up right now. I got a pepper in here with a $100 pecan tree there, and there's a dead pecan tree. I thought I'd give it a shot. So, and this got transplanted from the greenhouse over there because I had a couple of them in there. They were just too dadgum big, and this one went into shock, and I don't know if I stabbed the main root or something, but something happened. So if there's hope for this one, it is to be determined. At the time though, it looks like dog crap. In the meantime, this one did just fine through the transplant. The first day it was pretty darn droopy, and after that, I mean, it just perked right back up and went back to work. So now let's run over there to the greenhouse at the Secret Garden. I'll give you guys a little look-see. All right, let's see where we're at here. Here at the door, we have 98 degrees. Let's see what's going on. So all this little stuff ain't much doing anything except for those 2 bell peppers have made it somehow. They're coming. So are these green beans up here in the front. This other little front section, I just piled on my tomato leftovers right there for right now. I got that little basil under there. Thai basil's doing pretty good. And that's actually a pinto bean. So we'll see what happens there. All right, now, see if I can give you a good overview first. So these are doing just fine. And I've got some pretty healthy stalks. This is sun golds. All 3 of these here together are sun golds. And I've got flowers and a few spots. Let's see if I can get you over there. You can see I've got a couple of them coming. So I got these guys doing really well. Let's come on down. Okay, and back here in the back, that one is a yellow pear. And it's doing just fine too. Won't be long, I'll have to stake these guys again. There's an Amish paste. It's got some long, skinny little flower pods there. All right, and my Jolene's, they're looking good. I got a lot of suckers. I'm taking, at this point, I'm taking a very opposite approach from last year. I am not pruning like crazy. We're just gonna see the difference. Y'all can watch with me. I may be ashamed of myself when I get done. All right, so Jolene, I do have some tomato formation and lots of flowers. So that stuff does do pretty decent here in the south. This Better Boy, he's falling over here. It's time to tie him up again. Another one back there in the back, and you can see the limb going down and coming back up. That burn. Stuff doing okay. Got to tie everything every 5 minutes. Now, we're kicking off for real right now. The stuff's growing fast. Big old healthy stalks. I think this old Ag Barn dirt, they like it. Another beefsteak back there. It's hard to see everything because it's such a mess. All right, and these are Celebrity here on the end. And that's what those other two are that you saw over by the shop. They were in here in between these guys. And it was just a mess down here. So my Carmen Pepper, it's doing pretty good. Coming on up. Maybe I'll get some peppers pretty quick. Looks like they're flowering. Now on this other side over here, my green beans, you can see them all along the front. I have no green beans yet, but the plants look really good. My cauliflower and cabbage leftovers, they're doing okay. I don't know if anything's really getting too carried away right now, but they're healthy. It is what it is. All right. Now, these are the pink Berkeley tie-dye. Okay, so that dude is just spreading out like crazy. Now, all this stuff's indeterminate, but I'm growing it like a determinate right now. It's going to get so bushy, I'm going to have to do something, but I thought, let's see what happens first. And then if I need some more tomato plants, or I just want to make some for my friends, when I do cut the suckers, they'll be plants already almost. I'll just stick them in the water and get some roots growing and be able to hook some people up. If all else fails, I'll have my fall tomatoes already coming along. See, now this is what I'm talking about. See this big boy here? He needs a new buddy right here, Ananas Noir. All right, so now he has got his own stake. Oh, let me see. Give you an idea. These dadgum things are healthy. Big old stalks on them. Big old stalks. I don't have anything to tie it with though. That was real smart not to bring that. Dad burn it. Let's see here. Get over there, Peter. All right. So I know it's not going to probably hold up very long, but there we go. Ananas Noir, and you can see they're healthy. I mean, those stalks, man, pretty big for this early. Big as my thumb, you know. And here's all those little tiny transplanted ones. They're all Ananas Noir as well. And look how big they've gotten really fast. I need to do a tiny bit of weeding here, don't I? Not real terrible, but one thing about these little raised bed kind of setups, they are very easy to weed. I like them. So, my maters are coming on along. They are about 3 foot tall, every one of them. Except for those in the back on this side, those little guys right there. And those are 18 inches to 2 foot tall right now. So they're doing good. And here's my corn, looking just fine down in here. It's liking this stuff. See, and I cheated. I went ahead and got my fan running so I can blow around on them. I know they're pollinated by the wind when they blow all that stuff out of the little tassel. So, I got this guy stuck there in the meantime. keep some action happening down here. Keeps blowing it through, which has also resulted in this big boy up here coming on much less. So, pretty good little balance happening. My corn looks good. I'm really happy with it. Hope it keeps coming. I've had a coon digging in the trash out here, so I know I've got a coon to fight, and I've seen several little black squirrels. I'm hoping that they don't get smart and start working their way in here, because it's possible. They could sure get in here if they want to. But in the meantime, I'm gonna grow fearlessly and try to get as much as I can. We'll see. I imagine with the way I'm growing right now, I'm gonna have lots of broken limbs and stuff. It's gonna be okay. I got enough. You know what? This is 2 years now that I've done the YouTube thing. Before, I never knew anything about growing tomatoes except for stick it in the ground, pick off the tomatoes. And so this last year was a big difference for me, and I really got serious about it. And so I really pruned kind of heavy last year, and I've seen lots of good benefits to that. I wasn't getting chewed up by the skeeters and stuff, but also had probably less tomatoes than I could get. So let's see how it goes this year with very minimal pruning. So now I'm going home because I need to eat lunch with my wife, and I will give you a quick look-see around my place too. Things are moving along there. Potatoes getting big, so let's go check it out. Okay guys, I'm at my house now. There's my wife's house plants. Not that I give a crap about that stuff, but my grapevine's growing. I have to figure out something, how I want to really work this. May run some cables off here, out here, and make some kind of a setup so that they have something to hang from and run all over the place. But they're healthy and they're coming back. Okay, now look at these taters. Now these are just now starting kind of. This is the russet closest, and I believe it's Yukon Gold. No, it isn't. That's the red next. And Yukon Gold, one way or another. I got them written down, and there's a sign inside of them on there, but they're doing well. Let me see if I can get in there. I'm trying to be careful because my wife has booty trapped me. You see, her and my grandson planted sunflowers in here. Since I'm letting this rest, they just cast out sunflower seed in the ground. Not so we could harvest, but just so it looks good. Look at this, my compost, growing tomatoes in it when I'm trying to grow green beans. See the tomatoes in there? That one's just growing grass and trash, looks like. Look at that. Another tomato. There's gonna be some volunteers going on here. But, so russet potatoes, for sure, I'm certain of these. These are the ones that take the longest too, but they've come on up out of there a little bit. I'm not gonna put any more straw. I'm done. So I think I've got about another month for sure on these guys, and maybe a little bit longer on this one. Maybe that's why it's coming so slow. But look at these dad burn things. They're healthy, tall, full. I'm hoping I got a whole bunch of taters growing in there. Just, man, they look good. Cannot complain. You know, they're 6 inches down. Let's see if I can walk backwards here. They are six inches. That's a lie. They're further than that. They're about halfway. You see them pots. Those pots are about 2 foot tall, and they're about a foot down into that pot. And so there's like probably 6 inches of soil before the straw starts, and then you got everything on top of the ground. So they're doing pretty good. Now, here are my Israeli melons. I got 3 of them going. We'll see what happens. Hope they kick butt and get after it. My green onions that we bought from the store a couple years ago and just threw out here in the ground, they're all flowering, going to seed. We're gonna let them. We ain't touching this stuff this year. This ground in here is getting left alone. And next year, if anything, I may cast some more crimson clover or something in here and let it seed out and all that good stuff, and help keep the weeds down. I have come in here and weeded, but probably next year I'll come in here with one of them black tarps and some drip tape and do the whole thing, get it all leveled up nice and everything. These green beans are doing good. And this is actually just a little compost area. Threw some lettuce down and the dadgum stuff's still growing. Of course it's going to seed, but okay. And then I don't know what these little things are shooting straight up right here. Something my wife has planted. But behind them, this is cannas, and there's some bananas back there. And that they haven't kicked all the way off, but things are just starting right now. So we'll see. They just started getting water in here again as well. And I don't know what's what till they get a little bit bigger. Then you can see them. The dang things always grow through the fence. My wife gets mad at me, but like this kind of thing I'm talking about. You see this guy? He's on this side of the fence. This side of the fence is mine. And I'm stingy with my property, and I don't want any more of these. Right? So you can see, look at that thing in there. There's gonna be look at them. You can see there's gonna be a million more of them dang things. I'll have to keep on messing with them. But, so the husband and wife fight over that silly kind of stuff's going on a little bit, but, all right. This is my peach tree I grew from seed. I got in here and I didn't get crazy, but I cut down the comfrey that was around the bottom. It'll come on back on its own. And I trimmed up a little bit, left a little breathing room in there. So that guy will hopefully grow healthy. Same thing here. I tried real hard not to get carried away because I'm awful about pruning too much. My wife just kills her. But it's really open in this little vase, and I've tried to cut off most stuff that was growing back into the middle. Our pretty flowers back there. I don't remember what them guys are called, but I sure like them. They're pretty. All right, and the rose bushes are doing okay. Elephant ears are just now starting. Still got all this lettuce over here. I've been trying to take a head of it at a time as I need it for cooking, but I'm just not eating enough fast enough. Stuff's just growing like a weed. Flower bush is doing well. All right. Same kind of setup over here. In my little planter box, I still got some kale going. You see what's happening with the lettuce. It's going to make seed all in there. Let me go around the other side of this trampoline. I'll show you all a little bit better. All right, so I got all kind of little lettuces coming up in here. I'm dealing with it right now. I really want the real estate for something else, but all these little scrap leftover stuff's been thrown in there, and I haven't messed with nothing. You can see our strawberries are by the cupful here lately. I've just really been munching out on them guys. Doing really well. This year's been really good for strawberries so far. Okay, and over in this corner, my wife's got all those passion vines they're trying to grow. Oh, speaking of vine, my grapevine, I don't know if you can see him back there. That's him. He is winding around. Let me see here. Coming up here to the front fence. So my grape is now here on this fence. I need to build some kind of a little trellis hodis or something up here on the fence so I can get up on the fence and spread out. But it's doing well. Now my peppers are my sore spot, to be honest with you. I'm not even gonna go in here right now, but you can see my pepper bushes. I overwintered those things for the last couple of years. And they've been 24/7 underneath the lights during the winter time, and still pumping all winter long. Then I get them where it's warm enough outside, and I come over here and transplant them back. And they've produced up until now, but I'm hoping they're going to come on. They're making me a little bit nervous. I may have nuked them just by running them into the ground, but I see a little bit of fresh stuff, but nothing to brag about or show you yet. So I'm going to hold off on any pepper updates because it's kind of cruddy at this moment. However, I did have a couple of little pieces of corn, so I stuck them all back in there. I don't know if you can see them. I don't think they'll do any good here, to be honest with you, but got some little corn all through there, so we'll see. We shall see. before I go over here and check out the greenhouse, I thought I'd show you this yellow pear's coming on up. As it gets a little bit bigger, I'll keep tying it up to that fence in there, but I was looking, I got some yellow pears coming. So this guy's doing well as can be expected, considering. And I'll show you over here too real quick, while I'm outside of that greenhouse. So I have an okra plant there, another there, and another there. Okay, and I replanted my Market More cucumbers, and you can see they're coming. And they'll come up this fence, take over. On the other side, that's zucchini, that's yellow squash, and that's yellow squash. So I'm pretty well set up with that stuff out here. Let's go look in that greenhouse. Okay, so I've harvested a few carrots. None of them are big, full, and long. Majority of them have been about 4 or 5 inches long, but they're as fat as a full-size store-bought carrot. It's because I transplanted them, it stunted them and screwed them up. But they're doing all right. The onions are doing great back there. The lettuce is going to seed, of course. All right, let's look over here on this side. These onions are going to seed as well. You can see little seed heads on them. But my onions themselves are getting big. They're doing really good. And look at the strawberries, you know. These strawberry leaves are big, y'all. Doing really good this year. We've been raiding them pretty good in here because there was a bunch of big ones. And you can tell by looking right here, somebody, I'm gonna guess his name is Asen. It was his birthday yesterday. He turned 4 years old. That person, I think, has been in here munching out on all my strawberries. The boy really likes strawberries. And when all of his cousins come around, he shows them where they're at, so they come out here and they tear it up together. So I got Celebrity, Jolene, right here. Got some onions, doing pretty good. And here's some transplants Bubba helped me with. We just found some stuff laying around the yard. This guy is a better boy. It's doing pretty good. That one is a better boy. Doing pretty good. So back up a little bit for you. And that one down there is a better boy. Everything's about ready to be tied up again. So on this side. All right, so I got some onions. Got some Aunt Ruby's German green. Look at this onion. This thing, that's that's 4.5 foot tall right there. And look, the Aunt Ruby's German green is almost right there with it. It's taller though. The onion is taller than the tomato plant. You believe that? Look at that thing. That's pretty crazy. But this Aunt Ruby's German green looks healthy. All right, now I've got down here is another Jolene. I need to show you back in here because I haven't been spotlighting them, but those orange trees are doing really good. I'm gonna have to add a little bit of fertilizer in there with them guys. They're enjoying this situation in here. My other Jolene, got a little bit of flowers. The carrots that will never make anything, I'm not sweating them. And here's some dill. Let this old dill get big and seed, and we'll steal from it as we need to. Now let's go check outside. Pomegranate tree, it's doing pretty good. I kind of twisted all 4 of them together there, and we'll see what happens. They're starting to lean over out here in the way. Down here, another volunteer tomato, who knows? And another little, I may take this guy out there to the secret garden out in front of my shop. Another little pomegranate. And then these guys right in here, those are Egyptian spinach, just starting. Okay. I got this fig tree. He's coming on along just fine. And there's another pile right there of volunteer tomatoes. Okay, and right here, I have several coming up. I don't know if you can see them, but Those are those China Jade cucumbers. And they're going to, hopefully, as they come up, I'll train them to go over this little goofy trellis I got. On this side of the trellis, I have some cantaloupe planted right down there, and it should start breaking through any time now. Right here, this little spot's going to be birdhouse gourds. I put 6 of them in the ground yesterday. I'm going to let that stuff grow up with this. I actually have another trellis about this size that I can add to this if I need to. And we're going to set those birdhouse gourds aside, and for each grandchild, we're going to make them a little birdhouse out of it. Have a pretty cool little family project, but I'm not going through all these guys. There's my tomatoes out here. Same kind of stuff. Sun Gold, Yellow Pear, Pink Berkeley Tie-Dye, Better Boy, all that stuff's here. See these onions? I'm going to be all right for onions this year. Did good on the onions. I cut back on my comfrey over here. Just kind of piled it around that Mexican squash. You can see these guys are going to seed as well. Lots of them are going to seed, and Fix had to just use them up. Let's see back here. This guy's going to seed. I'm just waiting for the seed. Same with the broccoli. Look at the broccoli back here. Look at all that seed. Each one of these little pods is your seed. So I gotta wait for that guy to go yellow all the way and die, and then I'll harvest all those seeds and have more for next year. Green beans are doing okay, the ones that came. And I'll tell you, this was growing back there with the asparagus. It looks like a watermelon to me, but I don't know. I'm just gonna have to see as time goes on. More volunteers everywhere. You can see these little plants, even though they're looking rough. I have strawberries all over the place. These are little bitty ones here, but you know what I mean? Give you an idea how small they are. Pretty little. And I'm actually leaving them there right now because the snails got to have something to stay off the rest of everything else. And I have been putting some stuff down for snails, but they don't give up and they like my area. Look at all them little baby asparagus coming. See them in there? And I don't know if you can see back there. I've got seed in there as well growing. So this is going to be a never-ending thing here. I just got to get some kind of a dead burn. I don't know, some kind of a cage or something here to kind of keep it from getting too carried away. Anywho, this whole stuff's doing okay. Now we're going to go that way. So my Florida Prince tree, getting a little bit of leaves. It's kind of slow going here. All right. I want to say watermelon, but it may be cantaloupe. I should have wrote it down. But watermelon, and these weird little stalks, that's comfrey. I just cut almost all the rest of it down because it was blocking my sprinklers from watering those watermelons at the time. And this old tree is recovering, even though I really molested it, poor old thing. I was watching this morning, and there's a sprinkler right there. And I'm gonna have to dig that dude up. I'm gonna have to raise him up probably, I bet 4 or 5 inches. I'm gonna have to build this area up. It's been a little water hole anyway. But I need to clean out my sprinkler head on it because it wasn't shooting everywhere I wanted it to. You see my beets are what's coming up like right in here. These ever so often, these little green sprouts here, that's beets. They're coming along. My cilantro is all gone to seed. It's turning to coriander at the moment. I cut a bunch of this stuff back and pushed that parsley back so that that basil down there has a shot as well. Got a couple of little basils in there, and they were starving for sunlight, but you know, won't be long. I'll have some coriander seed. The parsley is doing the same kind of thing. So my dill and my thyme, they're both doing okay down there. See, the dill's healthy and lush. There's some thyme. All right, over in the corner, you can see That is the trumpet vine. It's ready to go retarded right now, so pretty, but dadgum, I really got to keep up with it because it wants to be invasive and take over the world if I let it. So got that guy, and on this side I've got wisteria. It's worse. So I'm trying to train this stuff so it'll crawl along. I'll let it get on top of that shade cloth, do something like that. But now we're going through that gate and see the last of the maters. Okay, now's the last of my tomatoes. And I can see several I need to tie up in here as well. These guys are anywhere from 2.5 to 3 feet, somewhere in there. They're all doing pretty good and healthy. Not gonna get all individual. This is just a general showing you where we're at on April the 15th, right in the middle of the month. This is my wife's hollyhocks. And the front, where it didn't get pruned up by Jerry, it's got flowers on it. It's pretty. And this guy, let's see here. Yeah, this guy is about ready to anyway, so won't be long. We'll start seeing them. Look, you can see them down here too. All those guys are going to be pretty pink flowers. Old Palka, Amish paste, Amish paste. And after Passover, which I believe is 22nd, 23rd, somewhere in there. I'm not Jewish yet. I'm going to celebrate it, and I'm going to have some bitter herbs, and that kale's going to go in it. And after that, that kale's gone, as well as some of that parsley over there. So, right here, my grandson, I need to come over here and water it by hand. It'll come faster, but them 2 dark trenches, Asen just filled it with sweet corn. So, you talk about thinning, man, I'm going to be busy, but we had a good day. So my wife's here now. I need to get in there and cook us some lunch, and I'll try to keep you guys updated. It'll probably be close to the 1st of May before I get back to you, but I'm working on it. It's coming along. Everything's coming alive pretty. Y'all have a good one.